Someone's energy feels nervous around you, not in a bad way, but in a way that is definitely hard to read. Right? I'm sure it's driving you nuts. Right? It just feels kind of chaotic in a way, or tense. It seems like something that was said between the two of you is weighing on them, and it's weighing on them more than they expected. And with the new moon in Scorpio right now, this is going to reveal deeper truths, and people tend to show their real intentions, even if indirectly. This person has been trying to hold their composure, but your silence, or the silence and distance between the two of you, they can't read you, all right? Or they question everything about this connection, which, makes them hold on even tighter. This could be someone feeling pulled back towards you, wanting clarity, or realizing they've been tiptoeing around things instead of being honest, all right? The vibe's not dramatic, all right, but the pressure is definitely building here, and it feels like somebody does not want to let go or lose you. You could feel a shift this week because it looks like someone can't pretend they're unbothered anymore. So welcome back to my channel and your weekly love reading. All right, I hope you're having an amazing day so far. This reading is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We'll look at who's in your energy right now, what they're feeling, and what Spirit wants you to know about this connection and where it could be heading. And as always, I do a run through each zodiac sign at the end to give you a little heads up of the energy they're coming in, their thoughts, maybe their feelings, or any actions towards you. It just helps give a little bit more clarity. So ground yourself always in my readings and set your intentions. And let's get into this. All right. Queen of Pentacles. I mean, you're giving off an awesome vibe. I mean, I feel, this is your person is, maybe questioning, why is Libra seem unbothered? Why does Libra seem so calm than usual? Right? Maybe you are, just taking care of business. Maybe you're just worrying about your own stuff right now. Maybe you're fed up about something, or maybe, just tired of thinking about where you stand with somebody. But somebody's reading you different than what's going on in your head. You could be, giving off this Queen of Pentacles energy, all cool, calm, and I got my shit together, right? But in your head, buzzing around, thinking of every friggin' scenario. My Libras, you're amazing, but geez, you can think of every single scenario possible. But somebody's a little bit like, what's going on here? Why do you seem okay? Why, something may have been said here. Obviously, your person with the Ten of Swords is hurting. All right. They're hurting. They're feeling like they're losing you. And they may be losing sleep over this as well, too. So, the silence between the two of you, the questioning, this is your person's energy, the Ten of Swords, and, they're trying to sleep. They're trying to, be calm, be cool too. But you see this energy of the Ten of Swords around them is giving off this very nervous energy. They feel like they're falling, and it's like, even when they're sleeping and they're quiet or they're meditating, they're trying to keep their composure here. They're trying to stay still. But the thoughts of losing you is really weighing on them. It feels very painful, like they've already lost you, right? Or they lost their chance with you, all right? It doesn't always have to be so dramatic with me. I know I'm a Scorpio. I'm very dramatic. But it just feels like, I may act like I'm not bothered by this as well, but here you're showing up as a Seven of Pentacles. So your energy is different. It's like, I can't read you. You're still trying to figure out your future. You're trying to figure out where things are going. This doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean that you're not, you're not willing to try, or you're not being responsible. It just shows that you're kind of in this position here of not really sure where you want to be or what you want to do. So it could be one of those contemplative moments in your life where, have I put enough effort into something? Is this the direction I want to go in? So it feels like a standstill for you, like, whether you're thinking it's your person or not, people are a reflection to what's going on within us. So, but your person's feeling it as if, this stalling energy, or this very grounded energy of yours, of contemplation of where your life's going, or where you want to see yourself in a few years, is coming off as you know, I'm not a part of this, right? So there may have been a conversation here about stability, because it does seem like, you know, the Four of Pentacles here, it's like the foundation to your thoughts is my security, my home, my money, my, where am I building my roots, where am I going next, Seven of Pentacles, I've been building all this, I'm looking back in my past, I'm looking at all the choices I've made, I'm looking at where I'm at, and is this really what I thought it was going to be? Is this really where I want it to be? And that doesn't mean that your answer is, you're right, this isn't where I should be. It just means that you're questioning things right now, and we are in a retrograde season, and the retrograde season is saying, take a look, slow down, slow down in conversation, slow down your thoughts, slow down on your assumptions. Right, this is the time where people will really start getting all chaotic in their head, thinking, assuming the worst case scenarios. You don't have to make a decision just yet. The energy is just asking you to slow down and, look at where you're at. Maybe there are some things you're carrying. Maybe there are some things you're doing that are not worth your time anymore, right? This is not, maybe you find yourself going down the same routines and this is what you were trying to avoid. So I do get this Four of Pentacles energy where there's a little fear here, though, with you. There's a little fear here of putting your roots in the wrong place, or is this the one? So this can be a block for some of you. If you're trying to connect with somebody and you're wondering why they're not reaching out to you, it's because they're reading your energy exchange. It doesn't matter what you're saying to this person. It doesn't matter what you're arguing. They're reading the energy exchange. And they may be feeling that you're not 100% sold on this person, that if there was something better, you would be happier, you would happily go, or, so there's this vibe between you that, and maybe this was spoken in a conversation, and somebody was made to feel like they weren't enough, or, somebody was feeling like your interest was somewhere else, or, you were feeling like their interest is somewhere else. And we're worried about everybody else, but not paying attention to what's really going on between the two of you. Because there is something that is bringing you guys together here, and you guys you're facing a hurdle. You're facing a hurdle. I don't want to move forward just yet until I'm 100% emotionally secure and financially secure, or my health is secure, whatever it is. But I want to make sure I'm making the right decision. So what I'm hearing Spirit say is, maybe right now is not the time. Maybe you are holding back. Maybe you are pulling your energy back a little bit. Or maybe you're just releasing some of your worries a little bit, all right? Or try, or Spirit saying, do this, and this isn't the time to make a decision about your future with somebody, or declare that somebody is not a part of your future, or declare that this can't be the way, because your assumptions right now may be off, due to fears, due to the energy that's around us. And so this time period is a time for you to really reflect on what you really need and want. And so I feel like your person, though, all right, this is where it gets tricky. You're making your person real nervous, all right? The Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords and the Knight of Swords. You got your person, not sure which direction to go. You got them all over the place. What do I think? What do I do? They're assuming. They're possibly assuming the worst case scenario. If I don't make a decision, or what if, am I losing Libra? Or if I don't make my move with Libra, am I going to lose Libra? I mean, because, they're getting this vibe, and then if there was something that was said, if you guys did break up and there's no contact here, you're seeing somebody over here going, I don't know if I don't know if I said the right thing, or I'm listening to what Libra said to me while we were arguing. And I'm thinking, maybe this is headed towards a breakup, or this is a lost cause. But your person's not feeling like they're winning, regardless of how things are showing up in your situation. You're not an easy person to lose. You're the Queen of Pentacles in this reading. That just means that you're giving off a very solid, earthy energy. You're showing up as a queen, regardless of your gender. All right? And queens are bosses, by the way. We're bosses, right? Kings too, right? And I'm seeing here, though, your person here really trying to question, but the silence is building up this pressure. And I'm sure it's driving you nuts. it's hard to read. It's hard. I mean, if your person is assuming the worst, and they're, this energy is coming off, and you're just trying to find time to really think about what you want. I mean, this can feel like a sense of urgency at times, like I don't want to make the wrong decision too soon. But there's silence, if it's them, or the silence between the two of you. Look what it's doing to them. You got them really thinking about what they're losing, or what's happened. Or maybe even for some of you, it can go a little deeper, as I'm remembering all the betrayals. I'm remembering all the times I didn't say, or I didn't show up, or I lied, or I was pretending, or I was, I didn't give it a chance. Whatever these little mishaps are, right, that led to this, feeling of, damn, I'm really feeling like I messed up, or this is messed up, right? So it may feel calm at times, but I know this week you could be feeling this tension. And I'm saying this as well because their actions here, this is where it could get a little bit tense this week. You have the Emperor energy, Seven of Wands. You have somebody that's coming in to defend themselves. This is somebody here that wants to defend the situation. Do you see the pressure building up? It's like we're not on the same page anymore. It feels like I've got to work harder. It feels like I've got to do something. It feels like something's building up here. I really need to make something clear. I really need to speak my truth or step up. All right. So there's a fire lit up under this person's butt. All right. It feels like the silence. So remember that, keeping the silence with somebody right now. Silence speaks volumes. Sometimes we think we need to talk things out, and there are days and times for that. But sometimes the no talk is what really is getting somebody fired up. All right. It seems like somebody here is coming in to defend, or, to get something off their chest. But with the Emperor card, it looks like somebody here really wants to step up. I want to make peace, but you can see that somebody's losing their composure. You can see that it's getting harder for them. And the harder it gets, I see the Queen of Cups. So it could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that you're connected to, or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aries, right? But we are seeing here somebody here is doing a little digging and realizing how they feel about you. Now, the Queen of Cups, it can be a friendship. It can be I really care about you. It can be I haven't been honest, right? But I'm realizing when the pressure's on. When the pressure's on is when you realize how you truly feel about somebody. And this person here realizing, I may have been stern, I may have been, holding back, I may have been, kind of acting like everything was cool, but my feelings for you have definitely grown. So I do see some healing energy coming through during this silence, or this breakthrough that might be happening for you. And I do feel like this week here, some of you may be feeling this tension build up, and somebody may be coming in to ground in on where things really are, and to step up their game a little bit and be responsible for anything that they may have said. This is the peacemaker, my Emperor. And the Queen of Cups is my healer. So it's like, I want to make peace and I want to heal this situation, whatever that means for you. So let's take a look at Aries through Pisces. This is where I'm just going to do a little rundown of each zodiac sign so that you can see the possible, this isn't always, this part of the reading is your reading. This part of the reading is just giving you a little bit extra, ooh, all right, that's my sign. I'm connected to an Aries, or I'm connected to a Taurus, and let's just see the energy they're coming in and what maybe to expect from them, or the potential of this relationship, whatever comes through. So if you're connected to an Aries, look at the Wheel of Fortune. Aries is like, all right, I want to turn things around here. There is something obviously destined. The universe is speaking here with the major arcana. And Aries is like, we got to get off this wheel. We got to quit spinning around and around and doing the same thing. We got to make some change here, right? So there seems like some positive movement here with an Aries. Taurus, I see the Queen of Wands, right? So you do see that fire energy coming up with a Taurus, right? Having the courage, realizing that, we got something here. There's something going on. I have love for you, and I definitely want to see, if this can play out. and where this can go. Now I have Gemini. You have the Four of Cups with a Gemini. So I am seeing, Gemini feeling still kind of down and out. You got 444 showing up for you today. So those are your numbers that are coming through in my reading. So pay attention to seeing those numbers. Those could be signs or synchronicities. The Four of Cups is like, I'm very nostalgic about this connection. There is something there. There's something between us, and I'm missing that love that you were showing me. But I'm just not always able to show up for you. I may be dealing with my own inner, issues, maybe depression over something going on in their life. All right. So they lack interest. They don't show up for you enough, right? But this week that could be really building up for them, especially if they're feeling like they're losing you. Cancer, I see Three of Swords. So there could be an argument this week with a Cancer. It seems like maybe there's some disappointment between the two of you. They're feeling it. If you're feeling it, they're feeling it. The Three of Swords. It feels like, I may have said something to you. I knew it cut me too. And this can always bring, a moment of clarity. Like, we both hurt here. It wasn't just you. It was both of us got hurt in this situation. So there could be an argument. If it already hasn't happened, there could be a discussion around how each other feels about what was said. And where do we go from here? Now, Leo, I feel the same thing. Leo, I feel like there was something said between the two of you that they can't get off their mind. They're really stuck on it, and you really got them thinking. So sometimes it is what it is. You just got to say what you got to say. I mean, they got to deal with their own fears and doubts. You may not win this battle right now with your Leo, but you definitely got them, in their head thinking about, what could possibly happen, and running through every scenario. So there is possibly still a disconnect here, but it's brewing. Something's brewing here. Something needs to be said between the two of you before anything completely ends. Virgo, Ace of Wands. All right. So Virgo's like, look, all right, the light's on. I see you. I'm attracted to you, and I want to see where this goes. There's so much potential here. Libra, the Sun card. The sun is about to shine. All right. This is just growth happening here with you. All right. There's a lot of clarity coming in, and the truth is coming in. And whether that's through God, through yourself, through clarity, or just getting out and going and doing your own thing, or staying positive. All right. But you do have the sun energy around you, which is bringing in a lot of love and a sense of renewal. So this could be with you and another Libra. Scorpio, Six of Pentacles. All right. So there seems to be, let's talk things out here. I realize maybe I need to give a little more, or I'm really liking you and I'm missing, your energy, and I want to reconcile, or I want to get together and make some plans. All right. Let's talk about the terms of this contract. All right, Sagittarius, I see the Hierophant. So Sag is pretty much truth speaker right now. Sag is like, all right, look, here we go. Let's talk. Let's see. We're going to find out what's happening here, right? So this could lead to a deeper level of commitment, always. Capricorn, Ten of Wands. Looks like Capricorn's barely hanging on. All right, so there could be a moment of weakness. There could be a breakthrough. There could be a breakup. There could be a letting go and just feeling like I just can't hang on anymore. This is very hard. So something very hard between you and a Capricorn this week. So this could bring up some sort of heavy truth between you and this person, but it also could bring a major breakthrough. We've been carrying too much, right? And this has been too hard. We got to make it easier. Aquarius, Three of Pentacles. Look, Aquarius got their eye on you. Aquarius is like, we can make this work. We can, we got this. We work well together. Whatever happens, we'll figure out a way. All right. And this could be a coworker or somebody that's got their eye on you and really showing more interest this week too as well. Pisces, the High Priestess. Pisces is like, look, I'm the High Priestess, right? Pisces is silent. All right. This shows a silent energy. But that doesn't mean you got to pay attention to the silence, because there's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of truth coming in with the Pisces. Really observing the situation and doing what feels right in the moment. But there'll be a moment when they speak their truth, especially when they're coming from the High Priestess energy. So if you're still with me, here's a bonus yes or no for you. I always do this at the end of every individual video. So if you do watch through, because it does help my channel, the retention, watching the video through, you get this bonus, right? So think of your question. And I apologize, I didn't put the title of Aries through Pisces up this time. I just did it a little bit differently. All right. You have a yes. All right. So the additional energy is right now it may feel like somebody's not putting in the work. It may feel like you're just not sure which way you want to go. Things are kind of up in the air, but the pieces are going to come together. I see them coming together with that Three of Pentacles. All right, you have a Capricorn energy and you have Mars. All right, so there's no giving up here. All right, there is a serious, we got to do something. We're going to fight through this. There's a lot of passion there and courage here coming through. And there definitely could be some intensity coming through as well with that energy. So I love you guys. Please hype, like, and subscribe. You guys help me grow so much, and I appreciate you. And until next time, take care.